a drinking problem in Iowa City? Yes. Do we have a drinking problem in our culture? Yes, we do. And I define that a little bit differently than I've heard it defined here tonight. I define it as irresponsible drinking, which I believe knows really no age. I mean, it could be the irresponsible drinking of overindulgence or binging or whatever you want to call it. It can be irresponsible drinking in the fact that you're drinking illegally, that is to say, under the legal age. And all kinds of behavior that results from that. It's problematic. And I've always believed that we all in community have a role to play in addressing problems in a community. And I wouldn't call what the city has done piecemeal. I've been very proud of what we've done because I think what we've done as a city, as a government, links to our core competencies. I believe, and these are fundamental beliefs, and that's where my position on this issue comes from, that the critical roles of local government are land use, enforcement. Sure, we address public health and safety, but I think fundamentally in the provision of safe, adequate infrastructure. We address public safety, public health. We don't necessarily address by class, but broadly for the entire community. So I think we've played our role, and I think we've played it very well. And I was proud of the zoning ordinance that we passed. I think that, yeah, it'll take time, but I think it's a good idea. And I've been proud of our stepped-up enforcement. I've been less impressed with some of the roles that the other sectors, other players have played in addressing this issue. But, you know, it takes time for people to step up, and I'm confident that people will play their role in addressing this irresponsible drinking culture that we have. So I think we've done what we're called upon to do. And I don't think that local government should play the role of, I guess I call it Uber parent. I think a lot of this discussion tonight, to me, has been frankly paternalistic. We're talking about adults. I mean, we're talking about 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. We're the smartest city in the country. I think much of that is due to the brain power of our 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, and I think we discount that often. I think that by making such an ordinance, it's similar to the curfew ordinance to me. I do not assume that a class of people, just because there are some bad actors within that class of people, I do not assume that an entire class deserves to be addressed in a specific way. There's behavior that's inappropriate. It's frankly illegal. We should address those behaviors. Now, I don't know where I come down. I also believe that you should carry a Paula with you for the rest of your life, because part of being an adult is accepting responsibility for when you do make a mistake. But let's address the behavior. I think that that's what making laws and governing is about, not addressing the class of people that we make assumptions about. I think it's disappointing to hear that bars are only places to go and get completely drunk and to drink. They're certainly places to socialize. One of the things that I do know about 18, 19, and 20-year-olds and 24-year-olds and that age group is they're very, very social. And these are social establishments. And I think that we discount the intent and the goodwill of those people who frequent those establishments by calling them somewhere just drinking establishments. If we were addressing in some positive way that addressed our core competencies, the irresponsible drinking issue that we have in this community, I could fully support it. But this focuses in a way on an age group. I don't think it will address the issue. If we begin to make laws to restrict access to temptation, which is what I've heard this described as, we're going to have our work cut out for us. There will be no lonely stretches of the highway where I can drive 10, 15 miles over the speed limit. There will be lots of things that we would have to restrict access to because the temptation is just too great. We must assume that. So I think that that's a problematic argument. And I come back to the fact that community members have been really clear, and that we should work together with these young adults to figure out what the answer is. It is problematic that we have a culture of overindulgence. And quite frankly, it's a little sad to me to think that it's a sport or a hobby to go out and get completely wasted night after night after night. I frankly don't understand it. I know it happens, but I know not every 19-year-old lives like that. So I won't be supporting this. I've been consistent on this issue. I don't think it's the way to address it. I think it's divisive for our community. I think it's appealing because we'll feel like we've done something, and then we'll stop working on it. And even if we intend to continue to work on it, we won't. We'll feel like we did something meaningful, and the problem will continue. We don't do a great job of addressing house parties. That will fall by the wayside. Those won't be addressed. We won't address the downtown culture. This will just go away because we can check it off the list because we've got 21. So I'll be the one vote against this ordinance, and I'll be a proud vote against this ordinance.